Chapter 4. Homelessness. California accounted for 30% of the country's homeless population in 2022, despite making up less than 12% of the total population. Our leaders can hide it no longer. California is facing a homelessness crisis, and the number is growing by the day. School children are walking over needles on their way to class, mass encampments are taking over highway underpasses, and medieval diseases like typhus and tuberculosis are re-emerging in camps and shelters. According to the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, California has the highest number of homeless people in the country, with over 151,000 people experiencing homelessness in 2020, over 20,000 more people than the previous year. This is more than statistics. This is Californians with no home base sleeping on the streets and in their cars. We are failing our fellow Californians. Inaccessible and unaffordable housing is a prevalent cause of homelessness in California. The state's cost of living, particularly in metropolitan centers such as Los Angeles and San Francisco, is exorbitant. This heightened cost of living has become an increasingly pressing issue as housing costs in these cities continue to soar to unprecedented levels. There is no end in sight unless significant changes are made and fast. It has been widely acknowledged that mental health and substance abuse disorders correlate significantly with the prevalence of homelessness in California. A substantial proportion of individuals experiencing homelessness suffer from mental health conditions or substance abuse disorders, yet they are often unable to secure access to the necessary medical care and support services to help with these conditions. As a result, they struggle to secure and sustain stable housing. In addition, factors such as the lack of job opportunities, the high cost of health care, and the lack of support systems are also contributing to the crisis. There are several potential concepts that would address the root causes of homelessness and provide housing and services for those in need in California. Some of these solutions include increasing the availability of housing. One of the leading causes of homelessness in California is a lack of affordable housing. With the high cost of living and rapidly increasing housing prices, many families and individuals are unable to find a stable place to call home. In fact, experts believe California needs to build 2.5 million more houses before the end of the decade to keep up with demand. These should not be mega mansions or lavish lofts. They need to be affordable, safe homes. The availability of affordable housing is critical to reducing homelessness. When people have a stable place to live, they can focus on finding work and accessing health care and other support services. By increasing the availability of affordable housing, the state can provide a solid foundation for Californians. The state of California can increase the availability of affordable housing in several ways. One approach is straightforward: empower the private sector to build more affordable units. This can be done by investing in new housing developments, converting existing buildings into affordable housing, or partnering with private developers to create affordable housing projects. The state can also implement policies to make it easier for people to purchase a home. This could include expanding incentives for first-time homebuyers, relaxing zoning regulations to make it easier to build new homes, or investing in programs that help people with low incomes purchase a home. Developing new housing is also key to tackling our housing crisis. However, the development of new housing in California will not come without fierce opposition. The term NIMBY, not in my backyard, refers to residents' opposition to new development or infrastructure projects in their local area. This phenomenon has been a significant barrier to addressing the state's housing crisis in California. Many residents and local governments are opposed to new housing developments, citing concerns about increased traffic, overcrowding, and changes to their neighborhood's character. As a result, New housing construction is often met with strong resistance and delays, making it challenging to build the number of homes needed to meet demand. In early 2023, it was reported that NBA superstar Stephen Curry was caught in the crossfire of a contentious housing development debate in the wealthy community of Atherton, California. Curry, a resident of the community and political activist, aligned himself with the residents vehemently opposing the construction of affordable housing for low- and moderate-income families. The residents asserted that the proposed development would not only detract from their neighborhood's aesthetic character, but also decrease property values. This highlights the ongoing issue of elitist NIMBYism in California, where affluent individuals and communities resist development projects they perceive as a threat to their privileged lifestyles. California will need to find ways to mitigate the concerns of NIMBYs and build more homes, such as offering incentives for local governments to approve new housing developments, implementing zoning reforms to make it easier to build new homes, and investing in infrastructure and services to support new housing developments. For example, the state should scale down or eliminate the California Environmental Quality Act, CEQA. CEQA is a piece of legislation enacted in the 1970s with the intention of protecting the state's environment and natural resources. However, over the years, CEQA has burdened the state's housing market by hindering the development of new housing units and driving up the cost of housing for residents. At its core, CEQA requires developers to conduct extensive environmental impact assessments before building new projects. This process can take months or even years, and can add significant costs to the development process. Furthermore, the process is often subject to delays and legal challenges from community groups like NIMBYs, making it even more difficult for developers to get projects off the ground. The result of all this red tape is that the state's housing market has become increasingly tight, with home prices skyrocketing and many residents struggling to find affordable housing. The solution is simple: scrap the CEQA. By doing so, developers could build new housing units quicker and at a lower cost, reducing the price of housing and making it more accessible to all Californians. With the state's housing crisis showing no signs of abating, it is clear that something needs to be done to address the issue, and scrapping CEQA may be one of the most effective solutions. By increasing the availability of affordable housing, the state of California can help reduce homelessness and provide people with a stable place to call home. However, to achieve this goal, we will need to be creative and proactive in addressing the challenges standing in the way of new housing development. We must build, build, and build. Improving access to mental health and substance abuse services. Improving access to mental health and substance abuse services can reduce homelessness by ultimately addressing the underlying issues contributing to it. In some cases, mental health issues and substance abuse may have contributed to homelessness, while in other cases, homelessness may have exacerbated existing mental health problems. Without access to appropriate mental health and substance abuse services, these individuals are often unable to achieve stability and end up cycling in and out of homelessness. If those in need cannot get the services they require, we are failing our most vulnerable members of society. To address this critical issue, we must empower our local communities by developing programs that help municipalities establish or expand mental health and substance abuse services for people experiencing homelessness. This can be achieved through a variety of means, such as employing collaborative mental health and homeless courts, allowing individuals to access services and receive treatment as part of their court proceedings. Additionally, re-entry services for jail inmates at risk of becoming homeless once they re-enter society can help prevent homelessness and support individuals as they transition back into their communities. For programs designed to support individuals experiencing homelessness To be truly effective, the programs must be accessible, sensitive, and affordable. Accessibility is crucial, as many individuals experiencing homelessness may not have access to transportation and may be unable to travel long distances to receive services. It's important that services are located within the community or at least easily reachable by public transportation. It's also critical to tailor services to meet the specific needs of each individual. This may include access to medical care, behavioral health services, and substance abuse treatment. For example, someone struggling with addiction may need access to a detox program before they can begin working on on-the-job training or financial literacy. In addition to addressing basic needs like food and shelter, the program should also focus on how to best support the person so they can build a stable foundation for themselves. This may include job training, financial literacy programs, or simple amenities like a haircut, shower, or professional clothes lending that can help the individual feel and look their best for any upcoming job interviews. By providing these services, individuals experiencing homelessness can increase their chances of securing a job and creating a stable, sustainable living situation for themselves. Moreover, we must also work to remove barriers to accessing these services, such as lack of transportation or language barriers. This can be achieved through outreach and engagement efforts or partnerships with community-based organizations and nonprofits. Investing in mental health and substance abuse services for people experiencing homelessness is not only the right thing to do, but is cost-effective in the long run. By addressing the underlying issues that contribute to homelessness, we can reduce the need for expensive emergency services, such as hospitalization, jail, and other forms of institutionalization. This, in turn, will help reduce the strain on our public resources and benefit the health and well-being of our communities. We must invest now. We must help each other now. Rapid rehousing and permanent supportive housing. Rapid rehousing and permanent supportive housing programs can provide a quick and effective solution for people experiencing homelessness. Rapid rehousing is a program providing immediate housing to people, connecting them with services designed to help them maintain their housing. This program is quick and efficient and provides short-term rental assistance and other supportive services, including case management, financial assistance, and job training. The aim is to help people quickly move out of homelessness and into stable housing, while also addressing any underlying issues that may have contributed to their homelessness in the first place. Permanent supportive housing is a program providing long-term housing and support services to people experiencing homelessness, especially those with disabilities or chronic health conditions. The program provides affordable homes and ongoing support services such as health care, mental health services, and employment assistance. The goal of permanent supportive housing is to provide a stable, long-term housing solution for people who may have difficulty maintaining housing on their own. The programs are cost-effective and positively impact both the individuals being served and the wider community. Various studies have shown that between 75 and 91% of households remain housed a year after being rapidly rehoused. To be truly effective, rapid rehousing and permanent supportive housing programs must be part of a comprehensive and coordinated approach to addressing homelessness. This means working with local communities, housing providers, service providers, and other stakeholders to ensure that programs are well-funded and effectively implemented. This can only be accomplished through partnerships. It is on all of us. In conclusion, rapid rehousing and permanent supportive housing programs offer a promising solution for addressing homelessness in California. These programs have proved effective in reducing homelessness and helping people achieve stability, and it is crucial that more efforts are made to increase these programs' availability and effectiveness. Investing in these programs and supporting local municipalities as they continue to build infrastructure to help and serve those in need will create a better future for all Californians. Increasing mental health bed capacity. Investing in mental health bed capacity has become a pressing issue in California as the state struggles to keep up with the increasing demand for behavioral health services. Mental health is a critical aspect of overall well-being, and the state must provide the necessary resources and infrastructure to help those in need. Despite the growing importance of mental health, California has fallen short in providing adequate inpatient psychiatric beds for those struggling with mental illness. The state has a significant deficit in terms of the number of beds needed to serve the community, which has resulted in many people struggling to access the care they need. The shortage of inpatient psychiatric beds means that individuals in crisis are often placed on waiting lists or are sent to emergency rooms, which are not equipped to handle their needs. However, being placed on waiting lists can lead to more outstanding unsolved issues or the loss of hope altogether. The lack of inpatient psychiatric beds has also increased strain on other areas of the healthcare system. Emergency departments are overwhelmed, and law enforcement officials are increasingly called upon to handle mental health crises, which they are also not properly equipped to handle. This puts both the individual in crisis and the first responders at risk. To address this pressing issue, it is important that California invests in mental health bed capacity. This can be achieved through providing funding and support to local municipalities as they continue to build infrastructure to help serve those in need. The state should work with local hospitals and community organizations to build inpatient psychiatric facilities equipped with the necessary resources to care for those struggling with mental illness. In conclusion, homelessness is a critical issue in California that requires a multifaceted approach to address effectively. By understanding the root causes, such as a lack of affordable housing and access to mental health and substance abuse services, policymakers can work toward creating solutions that provide people experiencing homelessness with the support they need to get back on their feet and maintain stable housing. While it will take time, resources, and collaboration between different sectors, working together to address the underlying causes of homelessness is a crucial step toward ending this crisis in California. We can and must help.